Hey, this is Mr. Aiden. This is the 2023 AP Calculus AB exam. This is free response question number 4. This comes from the newly released AP Chemistry exam that was delivered on Monday, May 8th, 2023. Go to my website, mraiden.com. Go to my YouTube channel for all your calculus needs, and you can see this no calculator problem is a fundamental theorem of calculus problem. My students were so ready for this one. They were really excited about this one. And the fundamental theorem of calculus, you can see they gave us a graph of f prime. So a few things you want to take a look whenever you have a fundamental theorem of calculus problem is they give you a graph of f prime of x, which means if you take the integral of f prime of x dx, that's the areas under the curve. And if you're taking the second derivative, that is going to be the slopes of the curve. So those are three things that you want to make sure you understand. The other thing you want to understand is this, is f of 2 is equal to 1. So right here, f of 2 is equal to 1, which means we can know our position at any single point in time by just taking the areas. You can see at 4, at x is equal to 4, we are 2 and 2, that's 4 divided by 2 is positive 2, which means you can know f of 4 is equal to 3 because we started at 1 and we went up 2. Then we can think about this total area here. This total area is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So the total area is 8, but you're subtracting this little area here. So we know f of 8 is equal to, think about it, the area is 8 minus this half circle. Half circle is pi r squared. Divided by 2. So the radius is 2, pi r squared is 4 pi, divided by 2, 8 minus 2 pi. So what is my position at f of 8? That's 11 minus, that's an 11 minus 2 pi is my position at f of 8. Now we're going to be going backwards. And when we go backwards, all of our signs are changed, they're shifted. Okay, so I take a look at this triangle here. We have the area of 1, 2, 3 times 2 is 6. Divide by 2, that's 3. So that's plus 3, which means f of negative 1 is equal to 4. Because if you start here at 4 and you subtract 3, you're at 1. But if you're at 1 and you go the other way, we're at 4. And then we can also know where we are at f of negative 2. f of negative 2, our area of this triangle is 1 times 2 is 2, divided by 1 is 1. So that's a negative 1, so that's at 3. Now, you're like, Aiden, you haven't even started the problem yet. Yes, but if you get this information under grasp, you can answer any question possible on the fundamental theorem of calculus. If you take a little bit of time and understand what's going on, you can answer anything. So then it says, does the function f have a relative min, max, or neither, which is the first derivative test, which means you're looking at f prime of x when it equals 0. They gave us a graph of f prime of x. So we're just looking at points where it equals 0. And we have the point at which the f prime of x is equal to 0. And remember, we're looking at x is equal to 6. So x is equal to 6. You could have a min or max here, here, and here, because that's when they all equal 0. But they really only want us to look at x is equal to 6, which f prime of x does equal 0 here. And you can see before that f prime of 6, like let's say f prime of 5 is going to be a positive value. F prime of 7 is going to be a positive value. So if you're going from a positive value to a positive value, it is not a minimum, it's not a maximum, it is neither. It's because my graph is not changing from positive to negative or negative to positive. There is no change in the f prime of x at x is equal to 6. And so it's neither. Then we go to B. B says, when is it concave down? Concave down is the second derivative of x when second derivative of x is less than 0, which you can see, second derivative, we're talking about the slopes. So that's when the slopes of my graph are less than 0. What intervals are the slopes less than 0? This interval from here to here. That's the interval from -2 to 0. And also, then we go positive slopes. Then we go negative slopes from here to here. So from 4 to 6. These are where my slopes are negative, and this is the intervals in which we are concave down. Then it says find the value of this limit. Now, if you take a look at this limit, you're going to get 0 over 0, which means it's indeterminate, which means we have to use L'Hopital's rule, which means we're going to take the derivative of the numerator and the derivative of the denominator. So let's take the derivative of the numerator. The derivative of the numerator is 6f prime of x minus 3. On the denominator, we have 2x minus 5. And now I can put in 2. So I have 6 f prime of 2 minus 3 over 2 times 2 minus 5. So let's see what we get here. We are going to get f prime of 2. Well, f prime of 2 is 0. So that's 0 minus 3 over 4 minus 5. And I get -3 over -1, which is a limit of 3, positive 3. We had to use L'Hopital's on that guy. And then it says find the absolute minimum value. Well, guess what? We already figured all of these things out, didn't we? We knew at f of -2, if you remember coming back here, finding the areas, f of -2, we got a value of 3. We knew we have to possibly use the endpoint there, okay? We have f of -1. F of -1, we found f of -1 was 4. So it was 4. We knew f of 2 was equal to 1. That's something we knew right there. If you take a look, f of 2 equals 1. That's what they gave me. We knew back at f of 6 was going to be, well, we know f of 8. F of 8 was 11, f of 8 was 11 minus 2 pi. 11 minus 2 pi. And think about that, 11 minus about 6 or so is about 5, okay? Where's the absolute minimum? We had to take the endpoints into consideration when we're looking for the absolute. But the absolute minimum would be right here. The absolute minimum would be at f of 2 is equal to 1. That's the minimum value. That's the lowest point it can possibly be right here. Because think about it. If we start right here, we're going in the positive direction. Then we're going in a really big negative area, right here. Which means that's the lowest point we have. And then we go positive, positive, positive the entire way to the end. So the absolute minimum we're at is f of 2 is equal to 1. And that was the 2023 AP Calculus AB exam free response question number 4. I'll have question number 5 up very quickly. Take a look at my YouTube channel. Thanks, guys. See you. Bye.